Welcome to the Brain Boost program. This program is designed to help you explore new ideas for activities that can help keep your brain healthy if you have early memory problems or have been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment or very mild dementia. If you have an interest in finding new ways to maximize your brain health, this program is right for you. Look for the accompanying episode guide to help you navigate the activities in this program. I'm Dr. Greg Jica, and I'm a neurologist who focuses on taking care of patients with memory problems caused by diseases like Alzheimer's. I'm also a neuroscientist searching for new ways to slow and/or stop memory problems in aging. I've been researching ways to promote healthy brain aging for almost 35 years now, and while we continue to look for new medicines and potential cures for diseases like Alzheimer's, you should know that there's a lot you can do to promote your own brain health. Things such as mental stimulation, social engagement, physical activity, diet, and many other daily activities, all of which can make a huge impact. We hope you try some of these activities at home or come up with your own. Most of all, we want you to realize that you can take control of your own brain health through such activities.
Welcome to Brain Boost. I'm so glad you're tuning in. Today, we're talking about my favorite thing, hobbies. Hobbies help us pass the time by giving us something enjoyable to do. Not only do hobbies make life more enjoyable, but studies show that hobbies are correlated with a high level of life engagement and sense of purpose. I wonder if you have any hobbies you enjoy doing, or maybe one you are curious about. There are so many benefits of hobbies. They give us an opportunity to boost our brain power. Some hobbies can be done in groups. Being around others has the potential to fight loneliness and increase socialization by connecting us with a shared purpose. Finding others with the same interest who enjoy doing the same things creates community and a sense of belonging. I like to go birding, and I like to take pictures of birds. So one day I was at the park with my camera near the trees looking for birds, and it didn't take long to find other people with their cameras looking for those birds too. Next thing you know, we were discussing what birds we had seen in the past and which birds we were looking for. It was nice to find someone else who shared my same interest. You don't have to like birding to have a social hobby. There are so many options to choose from, like book clubs or reading groups, collector clubs, or social organizations. One benefit of participating in hobbies is that they can improve physical abilities, such as maintaining hand-eye coordination and dexterity. The old saying, if you don't use it, you'll lose it, is so true. Some hobbies, such as crafting, utilizing fine motor skills, causing you to use your hand-eye coordination. Other hobbies like baseball uses hand-eye coordination when a player throws and catches the ball. Some can help reduce stress by decreasing cortisol levels. As a result, our moods will improve. Hobbies can increase self-confidence. When you've accomplished something, your self-confidence grows. Hobbies can make life more exciting. Have you ever watched something you've planned succeed? Won a favorite game, or finally spotted that red-throated hummingbird you have been searching for? There is a sense of pure joy that can happen when we succeed. Not only can hobbies help make us feel better, but they can also improve relationships. Having a shared hobby with a loved one can improve that relationship by giving you something enjoyable to do together. You can encourage each other in your common pursuit. Have you ever felt bored? When you are engaged in an activity that makes you happy, your dopamine levels in your brain are increasing. That happy feeling causes you to want to repeat that activity so you can feel happy again. It is important for your brain health to have a variety of hobbies and to continue to learn new things over time, which is giving your brain a boost. Research has shown that brain connections can be increased when we engage in positive social interactions, are involved in stimulating environments, participate in mindfulness, and have a sense of purpose in life, which hobbies help us do. It can be important for your brain health to find new hobbies and learn new things over time. This increases brain connections, which means giving your brain a boost. Studies have shown that brain connections can be increased by engaging in positive social interactions, participating in activities, engaging in play, being in stimulating environments, engaging in mindfulness meditation, and developing a sense of purpose in life. Knowing hobbies are not only fun, but also backed by scientific research, meaning that we should engage in them more often. I've invited my friend Kelly back to the show. Crafting is one of Kelly's hobbies, and she also loves birds. So today, she is combining both of these hobbies to show us how to make a bird feeder. This is especially fun if you've got a grandchild or little one in your life to make it with you.
All right, for this craft segment, we're going to be making bird feeders. This is a really fun way to have our feathered friends come visit us. So you can go out and find some pine cones if you'd like, or you could also use a toilet paper roll, paper towel roll, anything like that. So first what you want to do if you were going to do the paper towel roll is make 2 incisions or 2 holes to tie up the string with. Now I'm using a crochet hook. You can use a hole punch if you'd like. If you don't have that, you can do scissors, just be careful. So we just want to punch that through and get it on there. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut the string. And you want to try to use a cotton string if you have one, yarn of some type, or twine. And try to stay away from a plastic string since the birds are going to be eating these. All right, so take your big jar of peanut butter and something to scoop it out with. And I've got a toothbrush here. And we're just gonna pile it on there. Make sure you don't lose your holes to tie it with the peanut butter. All right, once we have that, so when we've got our peanut butter on, just put some birdseed in a long tray like this. This is just a Tupperware tray. And we just wanna get in there. We can roll it or pour it. And we have that. And then we're also gonna do a pine cone. I'll cut string for that as well. There we go. Okay, so for the pine cone, we're just gonna kind of have the string go under the leaves like that, and that'll hold it. I'll go ahead and do that first for this one, since we're gonna be covering it in peanut butter. Tie once or twice, there we go, and then make a little knot so you can hang it from a branch. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. And then we're gonna just do the same thing. We're just gonna cover it in that peanut butter. Now you're definitely gonna get your hands a little goopy doing this. And just spread it down. If you want to wear gloves, you can. All right. And then just roll it again in the birdseed. Okay. So now we have this done. You can hang it on a tree. And then we're just going to go ahead and tie the other one. So those holes that I made, I might have to kind of redo them a little bit. You might be covered. And if you want, you can do this first, so you won't have to go back and do it again. There we go. So we've got that, and then we just need to kind of tie it at the end. And it's okay if you lose some birdseed. You can certainly reapply as needed before you hang it up. Okay. And here we have some really fun homemade birdseed feeders.
I can't wait to go and hang my bird feeder up in my yard. Did you notice all the fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination that we used in making it? I hope you can get hours of fun watching birds come and enjoy the special treat you made for them. Now let's join Tonya, who's going to share one of her favorite hobbies, painting. Research has shown that painting and art in general can help reduce anxiety and depression, as well as increase quality of life and self-esteem. Get your watercolor supplies ready.
Welcome. We are here at the Kentucky Guild of Artists and Craftsmen in Berea. The Guild and gift shop are located in the Artisan Village in Old Town off of Broadway. My name is Tonya, and I work at Sanders Brown Center on Aging. For today's video, we are going to be painting some impressionistic dandelions. This is a very beginner-friendly video, so grab your paint and let's begin. Let's begin. First, I'm going to start by wetting my brush and getting a little bit of this blue that was left over on my palette. This is a combination of ultramarine blue and phthalo blue. Here, let me get some more out. And now we're going to just draw some little buttons. The buttons are going to be our dandelions. So we'll start here. Make a little button, a little flat on the bottom, a little dome on top, one little button. Let's do one over here. And maybe a larger one just off center up here. Now let's fill in our buttons a little bit, give them a little character. There we go. And now we're going to give our buttons some little hairs. These, we're just going to flick them out to the sides, kind of like we're giving them eyelashes. They look like little amoebas once you get all the hairs on them. Okay, and now let's put in the stems. I'm gonna get a little extra water on my brush, get some of the blue. I'm gonna roll it to get a fine point and draw in some stems. We want our stems to converge down here. So let's just start. There's one. Another one, and finally the big guy. There we go. So while we let that dry for a moment, I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to rinse out my brush and get a little bit of yellow. we're going to put in our big fuzzy bee right around here. So let's get a lot of yellow on our brush. And we're going to paint kind of a bean shape. It's going to be our bee. Now, we don't like skinny bees, we like fluffy bees. So make sure you got a good fat bee, and we're going to fluff them up with a little bit of hairs. Okay. There. I'm going to add a little more color to the bee with a little bit of orange. I'm going to do this before the paint dries because I want the colors to mix together. A little blob of orange. Let it melt in. Now we're going to make some bee wings. So I'm going to get a little more of my Payne's Gray, thin it out a little bit for a delicate line. And we'll start about here and make a line out, under, and back. See how that happened there? I'm not unhappy about that. That happens in watercolor. That is just the mixing together. Put in our wings. Now we're going to let that have a little dry and go back to our flowers. Now we're going to add in our leaves. Dandelion leaves are usually a little pointy. So I'll remember to do that. We're going to start right here, and I'm going to use a light kind of flicking motion. It doesn't have to be exact, just loose little flicking motions, like that. Let's do more. Going to make 4 of them total. And now let's add a little bit of grass. Hide our stems, on some grass. And now I'm going to add a little contrast to the ultramarine blue with some phthalo blue, just to outline our leaves a little bit. Get some water and some phthalo blue. And we're just going to go back over the leaves we've done, just lightly outlining them. Just light, loose lines. Let's see. Just the flicking motion. There we go. We'll rinse our brush. And now for the fun part, we're going to make our dandelions. I'm going to clean my brush real well and load it up with some wet water. Of course, water is always wet, sorry about that. And let me go around. We're going to make the paper wet. But we don't want it so wet that fish can swim in it. We just want it to be a little shiny. So we go around, and now let's add some color to our dandelion. Get a little pink. I'm just going to lightly dance my brush around the inside. You can see how the watercolor is just melting into the liquid. Now I'm going to dance my brush again on the outside of the water line. So we want our dandelions to be fluffy. Okay, now let's add a little orange. Maybe a little orange, maybe a little yellow. It's up to you. Just little blobs of color. Since the paper's still wet, they'll grow and expand. Add a little yellow. Okay, and now let's work on our other dandelions. We're going to do the same thing. Rinse my brush out really well so there's no paint left on it, and go around our dandelion. Okay, going to do the same thing, get a little bit of pink. Lightly flick or dance around the line, around the middle of the dandelion, and then around the outside. Now let's add some orange. Just wherever you like it around the flower. Maybe a little yellow. Now rinse my brush out again for the last dandelion. There we go. Get a little more pink. Just lightly flicking the brush around the edges. Back to our orange. Maybe a little more yellow. Okay, now we're going to go back to our bee. Gotta give our bee some character. Our bee needs some stripes. So I'm going to get into my black again. And make him a little bee head. And maybe some stripes. A few there, a couple here. And now we need to make him some legs and some antennae. Let's get the brush loaded up. We're going to turn it to get a fine point. And let's start with our legs. First we make a nice little bee thigh, little dot, and flick. Another little bee thigh, dot, and flick. I think bees have 6 legs, but we can't see them all from the vantage spot we have here, so I'm just gonna put in 4. Now let's fill in our wings. I'm going to use a little bit of yellow mixed in with a little bit of the black. I'm going to just lightly brush our wings. Oh, and before I forget, I got to add my antenna. flick and flick. Now you might think this is the end, and it can be if you don't want to do the next step. The next step I think is the most fun step, is we're going to splash paint the colors that we used all over the painting. So let's get some more pink. I'm gonna get my brush really wet this time, and we're gonna splatter. This kind of gives the piece, I feel, some movement, some more energy than just sitting there. Let's rinse that out. Get some orange. Get it good and wet. And just tap your brush. And let's get a little blue. And a little yellow for the bumblebee. And there you go.
Painting can be a fantastic hobby. You may want to make this special bee painting, or you may have some other creative ideas of your own. Painting and art in general has been shown in the research to reduce anxiety and depression, increase quality of life, and self-esteem. Our last activity segment today is Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a practice that involves a series of slow, gentle movements and physical posture, a meditative state of mind, and controlled breathing. Research is showing that Tai Chi has lots of brain-boosting powers. Studies show that Tai Chi has the power to stimulate the release of the substance known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's like Miracle-Gro for our brains, as it helps grow new brain cells and strengthen communication between cells. Before doing any physical activity, it is always good to evaluate your physical health and surrounding environment for safety. If needed, talk with your doctor about their recommendations before beginning an exercise program.
I'm Dr. Rob Slocum. I'm the Tai Chi instructor for Integrative Medicine and Health at University of Kentucky Healthcare. And today I'm going to share with you the practice of Tai Chi Qigong. Tai Chi Qigong helps us to be at one with the energy around us and within us. It's a moving meditation. It encourages resilience. It encourages balance. And we're going to talk about how that can be done in the comfort of your home or in any place where you have just enough room to make some basic movements. And this is for all kinds of people, no prior experience necessary. The fundamental aspect about Tai Chi Qigong is our posture. So we stand not in a rigid way. This isn't like a military brace, but we stand upright. Head as if suspended, so looking forward, not rigidly, but balanced. Head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and we'll start out weight evenly balanced. So the first thing I want to talk about is how Tai Chi Qigong practice can slightly change the way we breathe and the way we stand. So first of all, in terms of how we stand, in the West especially, sometimes without intending to, we can kind of slump over a little bit. You've heard the expression being knocked back on your heels. So for what we're going to do in these exercises, I'm going to invite you to move your weight from a standing position, of course, forward to the balls of your feet. I'm pointing to these places on my hands, analogous to the balls of my feet. So I'm going to turn sideways to illustrate. So if I'm back on my heels, my weight is back like this. But if I just gently move my weight forward to the balls of my heels, you'll see my posture changes. Now, I'm not up on my toes. My heels continue to touch the ground or floor, but my weight goes from here to here. And you may notice if you try this yourself that as you make this movement from the heels to the balls of the feet, it becomes easier. The shoulders can spread just a little, the lungs can spread just a little. It's easier to breathe deeply, and so it's easier to move forward. It's easier to be ready to take the next step. So that's one thing we will do. When we talk about practice, we'll tend to move our weight forward into this position. Another issue is balance. So just to be aware of your balance. And this helps just so we stand upright and don't fall. It can also be helpful in terms of resetting our internal balance. So just to be aware of your balance. So right now, my weight is evenly distributed between one side and another. And without moving my feet, I can put all my weight on this side, I can go back to center, I can put all my weight on this side and back to center. So just to be aware, how are you balanced? Sometimes if you find yourself falling or drifting off balance, it may be possible to regain balance by counterweighting yourself. So if I find myself unintentionally drifting in this direction, by simply raising my foot and repositioning it, I can bring myself back to balance. And of course, it works in either way. But just to be aware of the balance. The balance becomes with the use of our weight. Now, to talk about the breath, sometimes we don't take deep breaths. You may have heard the expression if somebody is in stress or panicking, take a deep breath. So one of the things that our practice of Tai Chi, Qigong will emphasize is moving internal energy with the breath, and that makes it much easier. So it invites us to breathe deeply, which itself is healthy, healthful. So as we breathe, we don't take just sip breaths, we seek to fill the lungs from the bottom up. One way to ensure that we're doing this is we can just gently place our hand on what we would call the solar plexus, kind of midline here, and as you slowly breathe, concentrate on filling the lungs from the bottom up. You should feel a gentle pressure against your hand here. Inhale and exhale. And for all of these exercises, we'll spend the same amount of time inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly. And as you do that, you may find there's more energy, there's more oxygen, there's more air, there's more life for you as you move forward. So again, we breathe in, filling the lungs from the bottom, we breathe out. So now I'm going to teach you an activity called Qigong, which is an energy building activity, but they'll have a couple of pieces to it. One of them will be a movement of the arms. So as we inhale, I'll bring my arms up and then exhale as they come down. And then I'll be running out of air at about belt line, so I'll inhale again, inhale up, slowly filling the lungs, exhale down. Now, The points that I mentioned to you on the balls of the feet, we understand them to be energy points. So we understand the energy with this exercise moving from top to bottom of the torso. So there'll be 3 sets of 3 breathings, and I'm going to turn sideways so that the first set of 3, we can imagine this wave of energy going down the front of the torso. For the next set of 3, down the middle of the torso. For the last set of 3, down the back of the torso. And this exercise is known as the rooting cleansing Qigong. Rooting in the sense that our feet are rooted in the earth, or rooted in the floor that's based on the earth, and cleansing in the sense that this wave of energy moving from top to bottom will clear those things that we want to move through. Liken it to cleaning the dust bunnies and the scraps of paper off the floor in the hall, but it just moves through and cleans out. So what we'll do is, for the first set of 3, I will inhale up, the hands will come around the face, around the torso, we'll pause for another breath, and then the energy will go the rest of the way down the legs and out through the feet, top to bottom, rooting and cleansing. So we'll do 3 sets of these. So if you'll please breathe with me now. Inhale up. Exhaling slowly. Inhale again. Exhaling, the energy goes out, down through the feet. That's 1. We'll do this 2 more times, just the same. Inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale up. Exhale out. Again, energy down the front of the torso, out through the feet. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale out. Out through the feet. And that's the first set of 3. Now the next set of 3, we will envision the energy going through the center of the torso. And in this case, the hands will just come straight down, not going around the face as in the front. So, inhale up, slowly filling the lungs. Exhale down, slowly exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down, out through the feet. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more in this set of 3. Gently inhaling up, filling the lungs from the bottom up. Slowly exhale down, no rush. Inhale up, exhale down, out through the bottoms of the feet. And now for the last set of 3, we'll envision the energy going down the back of the torso. Same movements as previously. Gently inhale up. Fill the lungs from the bottom up. Exhale out, slowly, gently. Inhale up. Exhale down, emptying the lungs. Energy goes out through the bottoms of the feet. Inhale up. Exhale down, peacefully, gently. Inhale up. Exhale down. Out through the points of the feet. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Out through the points and the bottoms of the feet. And that's the rooting cleansing Qigong. You may find it energizes and at the same time centers the energy, calms, focuses. This may prove helpful as a daily practice.
Wow, we have explored some fun hobbies today, creating a bird feeder, painting, and Tai Chi. And to think there are so many other hobbies you can choose. I encourage you to find a few hobbies that pique your curiosity and try something new. Maybe it is birding, woodworking, singing, dancing, photography, drawing, volunteering, gardening, card making, watercolors, sculpture, paint by number, stained glass, origami, metal detecting, stargazing, writing poetry, journaling, pets, learning a new language, playing games, playing an instrument, joining a choir, collecting things. The options are endless. Get started today and enjoy yourself. We'll see you next time on Brain Boost.